In Canto 24 and 25 of the Inferno, Dante and Virgil are in the depths of the eighth circle of hell, where the sins of fraud are punished. This circle is also known as Malabolgia, which translates to evil pockets, a reference to the 10 bolgias, or ditches, that make up the eighth circle. In the 24th and 5th canto, Dante and Virgil travel in the 7th bolgia, where the souls of thieves are punished. These cantos deal specifically with the pair's interactions with the damned souls that are tortured for eternity within a pit of serpents. Damned run naked throughout their mortal prison, with their hands bound behind their backs by snakes, at constant risk of attack from the serpents. If bitten, a condemned soul would burst into flames and be reduced to ash, only for their body to re-emerge from the dust for the punishment to continue. Some of the damned even turn into serpents themselves. The contrapasso of the thieves is clearly stated by the University of Texas at Austin's website, Dante Worlds, saying, "The tenuous hold on one's identity, with dramatic transformations of human and reptilian forms, suggests that no possession, no matter how personal, is safe in the realm of theft. Because the thieves stole from others in life, they were punished accordingly. In the 7th Bolgia, the damned soul's only possession was being stolen, their body." Dante and Virgil witness the cycle of destruction and rebirth occur upon one such soul who introduces himself as Vanni Fucci. Dante knew the sinner as a violent person, quote, "a man of blood and rage," and is confused as to why he was punished as a thief. Fucci bitterly admits that in life he robbed a Christian church but escaped punishment, only for an innocent man to be blamed for the crime. Vanni Fucci is embarrassed that this is the crime for which he pays for, not the one of violence. Fucci's punishment as a thief who robbed a house of God instead of as a perpetrator of violence highlights Dante's view that transgressions against God are far worse than any misdeeds against a fellow man. To further demonstrate Fucci's disregard for God's authority, Canto 25 begins with the damned thief making figs at God, an inappropriate hand gesture that was the 14th century Italian equivalent of the middle finger. For the action, Fucci is immediately entwined in serpents and runs away, but is chased after by Caucus, a centaur condemned to hell for robbing Hercules of cattle. After Vanni Fucci flees, 3 new souls appear to Dante and Virgil. The 3 ask the poets who they are, but before Dante or Virgil can answer, one thief questions where their friend Cianfa went. Immediately, a monstrous serpent with 6 legs attacks Agnello, one of the 3 souls, and entwines itself with the sinner. The two's bodies begin to meld together like hot wax, until just one unrecognizable being is left that quickly scurries away. Both the serpent, who turns out to be a transformed Cianfa, and Agnello lose their original form, the only thing each could call his own in hell. This change is also meant to invoke the thought of rape in the reader. Cianfa forces himself upon Agnello, spreading his legs and wrapping the sinner in his tail. In this implied act of sexual violence, Agnello is a victim to the contrapasso of thieves. Similar to victims of rape, he not only loses his body, but his independence is stripped away, forever combined with Cianfa. Promptly after Agnello's transformation, a small snake approaches Buoso, one of the 2 souls left. The 2 lock eyes and become trapped in a trance-like state, until the soul of the thief begins to take the shape of a snake, and the snake the shape of a man. The legs of the soul bind together into a tail, and his ears retreat into his head. On the other hand, the snake's tail splits into 2 legs, and arms sprout from his body. The transformation continues so on, until soul becomes snake, and snake becomes man. The recently formed man turns out to be Guercio, another sinner, who brags that now Buoso will be forced to live in hell as a serpent instead of him. In this, Dante shows how important the human form is to the damned souls, even in death. Reptile or not, the soul of Guerso will be stuck in the eighth circle of hell for eternity, but still finds his body valuable enough to brag about. To backtrack, before the metamorphosis of the sinners, Dante puts his finger across his lips to silence Virgil and observe what will become the transformation of souls and serpents. According to J. Rudd in the book Dante, a literary reference to his life and works, quote, Dante is metaphorically silencing all the great narrative poets who preceded him to claim his own ascension in the genre. Dante wanted Virgil to be quiet in order for him to see what he crafted in writing the Inferno. Through this act, Dante is essentially telling the Romans who authored the classics to step off because it was his time to shine.